Hey guys, here today to share a lesson on shades of meaning. It's a third grade standard. It's distinguishing shades of meaning among related words that describe states of mind or degrees of certainty. So we're going to be looking at a specific learning objective with this. If you want to do the lesson on your own, that's perfectly fine. I'm also going to be having some sentence frames that you can use to help you understand the topic a little bit more. So if you want to do this with a parent or a sibling, you guys can talk to each other about the words that you're choosing during the lesson. Okay, so the onset of the rainstorm was surprising. When we look at this sentence, we know that people are surprised by the onset of the rainstorm, but the word surprising has a different level that we're thinking about as the reader. If we change this word to maybe shocking or a different type of word that means the same thing as surprising, then we can give the reader a different sense of what the character is feeling, which is basically our objective today. So today we're learning how to distinguish shades of meaning among related words that describe feelings or what someone is thinking. As a review, we're familiar with synonyms. We know that synonyms share similar meaning, so big and large, small and miniature, kind and nice, skinny and thin, happy and cheerful. Those are just a few examples of synonyms. This background information will help us understand shades of meaning a little bit more closely. But our big idea that goes a little bit beyond synonyms is understanding that there are smaller differences in their meanings. These small differences are called shades of meaning. So when we think about the word that I just used a little bit ago, surprised, we can think about a related word being shocked. They mean almost the same thing, but shocked has a stronger meaning than surprised does. So if we said the onset of the rainstorm was surprising, which was our original sentence, if we change that with shocked, it gives the reader a different sense of what that character was feeling, and it enhances our writing a little bit more. So we're going to be looking at different shades, different words here to change their shades of meaning as we go through our practice today. Here's a chart of some words that show different shades. We kind of think of them as going from weak words to stronger words. So an example, I'm just going to kind of highlight this one over here as worried, concerned, troubled, and alarmed. Not a great oval, but just wanted to highlight that one there to show that we can go from worried being a weaker word to alarmed, meaning that that character might be feeling really overwhelmed, and you can maybe even in your mind picture what their face might be looking like if they are alarmed with something going on. We'll keep those in mind and maybe refer back to it as we need to. I also want you to think about shades of meaning as a paint chip. These are paint chips that we can find at Lowe's or Home Depot, but we think of shades of meaning of words, kind of think of it as the shades of different paint colors going from light to dark. So surprised, amazed, stunned, shocked, and how those words kind of transition to stronger or darker words. So here's our first example. Max thought the judges would like his poster. So let's find a weak word. We'll figure out the meaning of the weak word and see if we can change it to a stronger word. So Max thought the judges would like his poster. To me, one of the weak words might be like. I can think if I were writing this as a story, how the judges might feel about his poster. They might like his poster, but is there a stronger word that I could use? It might be something like Max thought the judges would enjoy his poster, or Max thought the judges would appreciate his poster. So there might be a different word, and there's no wrong or right answer, but it's really about finding that word that's weak and changing it to something stronger that would work and still have the sentence make sense. So today, as we go through sentences and some paragraphs, we're going to determine weak words, determine the shade of meaning for the weak word, distinguish which meaning would have the strongest shade, and then kind of change that sentence around. So another example would be, everyone was glad to go to the baseball game. The weak word that I can kind of think of here would be glad. Everyone was glad to go to the baseball game. Sure, everyone was glad, but can we think of a stronger word? Can we think of everyone was excited to go to the baseball game? Or everyone was elated to go to the baseball game? Or everyone was greatly anticipating going to the baseball game. So we really need to also think about, if we switch a word, how we might need to also change the rest of the sentence to make sure that it makes sense. And if we want to go a step further, we can even talk about changing some of the other verbs in the sentence, like everyone was excited to visit the baseball game, or everyone was excited to watch the baseball game and see the players playing. Okay, so let's try this one. His artwork was nice. What would you say the weak word would be? And if you want to pause, and you can actually pause and kind of turn and talk if you want to, and talk about which one you would think was weak, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to say nice. I think there's a stronger word we can use for nice. So I would circle the word nice, and I would use the sentence frame to explain why I changed it. I changed nice to amazing because it would explain his artwork more closely and describe how the person was feeling when he saw the artwork. Maybe you could change nice to his artwork was very practical or very explicit or very detailed. Something that would give a little more description to what his artwork looked like would make it a stronger word. What about his mom was happy that the mud wiped off easily from the floor? Again, if you wanted to pause and kind of turn and talk, you can go ahead and do that. I would say happy would be a weak word. His mom was relieved and happy, or his mom was ecstatic that the mud wiped off easily from the floor. Those would work to make that a stronger sentence. So if you want to turn and talk and discuss, I changed happy to relieved because relieved would describe his mom's expression, and I could see, I could picture it in my face, the relief that she felt. Let's look at this one. It would be tough to win first prize with messy artwork. I think the weak word I would choose would be tough. And if you want to pause and turn and talk, you can do that. I might change it to, it would be difficult to win first prize. It would be nearly impossible to win first prize. Something, again, to make it a little bit stronger to discuss and describe to the reader, because we're thinking if the reader's reading this, they want to be able to picture what that looks like in their mind. So I changed tough to nearly impossible because we know that no one can win with messy artwork. It makes it a lot more descriptive in my writing. So as closure, what was our learning objective today? What were we able to do? Our learning objective was we're learning how to distinguish shades of meaning among related words that describe feelings or what someone is thinking. Why would it be important to use different shades of meaning in our writing? So if you want to pause and talk for a minute or think about it, you can. But when we're using shades of meaning in our writing and we're really thinking about using strong words, we're making our writing more vivid and more explicit and clear for the reader who's enjoying our writing piece. Sometimes it's appropriate to use weaker words. It just depends on what we're writing and who we're writing it for. We really want to make sure that we're being vivid and that we're writing for the audience that we're intending on. And this was one final paragraph I wanted to share with you. And I wanted to think about some of the, I'm going to close this here so we can see it better, some of the weak words that we come across. Everything was fine one night when my mom and I went to bed. We both set our alarm clocks. At about 1 o'clock in the morning, I woke up because I heard a loud sound. It was thunder. I sat up straight in my bed. I heard the sound of rain falling too. Luckily, I was able to fall back asleep with no problem. Next thing I knew, I was waking up again. I noticed the sun was shining brightly. Weird, I thought, because usually when I wake up, the sun has not come up. I looked at my clock and it was flashing in red 12 o'clock. Oh no, I thought. I checked my watch and it read 8:35. I overslept. The thunderstorm must have knocked the power off in my house. Mom, I yelled as I walked quickly to her bedroom. We're late, I screamed again. So with this paragraph, let's think about some of the weaker words that maybe we can change to stronger shades. And like I said, there's really no wrong or right answer. So I want you to work together or work on your own, maybe work with someone at home, on thinking about what you might change to make the writing more vivid with stronger words. When you're finished, what I'd like you to do is go back to that story and add to the rest of it. What happened when they got to school? What happened when their mom woke up? Make sure you're using strong shades in your writing. You've included maybe some dialogue and you're following the correct sequence of events. And we want to make sure this is problem solution, that you've come up with a solution to the story as well. You can use the links in the YouTube description below to find this lesson on Google, and you can type it up in Google Docs once you get to those links. All right, thank you so much for following along. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more stories, more lessons, and more ideas on my channel. All right, thank you so much.